Welcome to ClassPeak Learning Management Systems. ClassPeak is a web-based classroom tool that saves teachers time and saves school district money. What is ClassPeak? Well, ClassPeak is a learning management system software that was developed as a solution to the increasing financial strains that are being placed upon the educational system. At ClassPeak, we believe that weakening the educational system by cutting teachers and programs is not a viable solution to the fiscal strains being placed upon schools. ClassPeak has developed a learning management system that saves time, saves money, saves programs, and utilizes technology to enhance education. With ClassPeak, students have more opportunities to learn, teachers have more efficient ways to utilize their talents, and schools are able to optimize their resources to bring the best education to their district. ClassPeak makes sense. When you get onto the ClassPeak Learning Management System website at classpeak.com, you'll notice all the things that ClassPeak has available and all the different ways that ClassPeak can be used in your classroom. The following video is an explanation of how to best utilize ClassPeak in your daily classroom. The first thing you notice on the ClassPeak Learning Management System website is the live teacher webcast. Why don't we take a look and see what that looks like live? As we click over to the B-Quiz webpage, you can see we have a teacher teaching right now live. The teacher is in the video box right here, and the students can hear the teacher talking to them. Now there are several features on this front page. The first thing for a teacher is this drop down menu in the top left hand corner. It has all the teacher's classes up there so the teacher can scroll from one class to the next. Each class, as we scroll down the page and look in the lower right hand corner, each class shows up on the teacher's front page and all the students are there. The teacher can communicate privately with each student by clicking on their name and typing a message in the message box. Those messages are private only between the teacher and the student. As we scroll back up, you will see that there is a class chat. Students can chat with one another during class and with the teacher. The teacher has complete control of the chat box. They can turn off and turn on the chat right here with this button. It's awfully nice when you're a teacher and you need your class to be quiet. All you have to do is click a button. So as the teacher here is teaching an English lesson, he is using the board. There is a whiteboard feature on the front page. Whiteboard is an extremely unique feature which is better than a regular classroom whiteboard. Yes, you can draw on it, but you can also type on it, you can upload pictures onto it, and you can save it as a document for further review. So your students can always have a copy of what you did on your whiteboard. Let's take a look at the B-Quiz site. One of the unique features of the whiteboard is that you can add pictures to the whiteboard from anywhere on the internet. Say I was teaching about the Battle of Gettysburg and I wanted to show a picture of Little Round Top. I would go to my Google Images and I would type in Little Round Top, and I would get, of course, a host of images of Little Round Top. Let's just select this picture right here, where we would right click on the picture. When you right click on the picture, you can scroll down here to copy image URL. You go back to your website and all you do is right click and paste. And now add the image. The image is on the board and you can still do, this is the back side of Little Round Top. This little brick wall right here is where the men from Maine lined up. They lined up behind this brick wall. This is interesting for students. They can see it and visualize what you're doing. Plus, if there are important notes on this whiteboard, You can always save them by clicking this button here and saving the image for later, and the students can review them along with the rest of their notes. Clear it and move on to the next thing. The whiteboard is a great feature to this product. Now that we've taken a look at those features, let's take a look at the schedule. The schedule bar is right up here, and all it is a calendar. When you click on it, you can click on any day of the week and type in what events you want. You can add as many events to the calendar as you'd like. You can see on the calendar there are a couple events right here that are already on, and these events show up on the student calendar as well. Now let's go back to the front page. We've already talked about what the live front page looks like, and we've covered the schedule. Let's go to materials. This is the easiest filing system I've ever seen. So materials are considered like notes or videos or any type of thing that you would show to your students. If we go and view the materials, you will see that there is a list of materials that have already been uploaded to this teacher's site. If we go to a student page, you can see that there are no materials listed on the student site. Why is that? Well, let's go back to the teacher site. As you notice, all the materials have a hide button. You check the button and it hides it for the students. If you are teaching a class live and you want your students to see something, you can simply unhide it and open it for them. When you open it for them, it will show up on their screen. But when you go back to your video here, and when you close it on your screen, it closes on their screen. However, since it's unhidden, it shows up on their materials page. It's an amazing feature. There are all types of different things you could do with your materials. You could have notes. These notes are hidden, so they do not show up on the student page. However, when I click down here and unhide the notes, Gettysburg Day 1 notes, unhidden, click over here and the material shows up on the student page. If the student is at home at night, or they're on their iPhone, or they're taking a break at work and they pick out their iPhone, they can go to the notes, click on it, and it appears for them on their page. Now as we continue to look at the materials page, let's say we want to give our students a quiz. We just click on the quizzes. The really cool thing about this though is that while the student is taking the quiz, the teacher can watch the quiz on the gradebook. If we open up our student gradebook, we can see that some of the students have not yet completed the quiz. Paul Huntley is one of those students who is going to be taking Gettysburg Quiz 1 as we speak. We will unhide the students with no scores. You can see that Paul is one of those students who has not taken the test. Other students already have. Up here you can see that on question number 1, up to this point 77% of the people have gotten that correct. As you move over, you can see that the tough questions are number 5, in which only 46% have gotten it correct, and number 8. When you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you can see which answer was the biggest distractor on those questions. Those are easy ways for the teacher to find out what the student needs more of. The really unique thing about this is when Paul takes the test, we can watch his answers fill in. Let's go to Paul's page. On Paul's page, you can see the quiz. When he opens up the quiz, it appears. This is the PDF format, which was uploaded directly either as a Word document or a PDF from the teacher's page. So the student now just answers the questions. The answers to number 1 is D. That is correct. You can see that Paul scored that correctly. If you look on the teacher page, you can see that Paul has correctly answered number 1. If we go to number 2, he may select A, which is incorrect. The correct answer was B. If we go back to our page, you can see that Paul selected A for number 2 and he missed it. Our total score, if Paul looks at his grade book, is 5 out of 10 correct. It shows up instantaneously for him to see. Going to the teacher site now, we can see that Paul had a nice little run of guessing there, but he missed number 2, missed number 5, and then missed number 8, 9, and 10 to get his 50% right. His grade is automatically uploaded into the teacher grade book. We have the statistics on those. We can click on the grade book and we can see that Paul's score is now 5 out of 10. No more extra hours grading papers. No more extra time at the copy machine making copies. You upload your quiz. You upload the answers. You can send a take-home quiz. The next morning when you get back and open up your grade book, the grades have already been done. At this point, we've shown you how to load materials. But how about quizzes? Let's take a look at what we're going to do to upload a quiz. Of course, we're going to go to the materials and click on materials. There we have materials, quiz, game, sequence, assignments. To see the quizzes we have, all we do is view the quizzes. We have 2 quizzes there. Let's show you how to create a quiz. First of all of us have stuff that we have in our files that we have created over the years. Many of us have uploaded those to the internet via our school websites. So if I'm going to do this Gettysburg quiz, I'm just going to type in the quiz title. I am going to type in the amount of questions, which is 10. You can type that in or you can button it up. And now I need the URL. I copy by left clicking this, copying that link. I go back to the Quiz site. I hit there, right click, and then I paste it in. Once I tab forward, the quiz appears. Now we have to put in the answer key. It's very simple. You can see the answers are already up there. I am just tabbing along. The answer to number 1 is D. I tab to D and I hit the space bar. And I tab forward. The box that I'm in right here right now is for an explanation. If I want to provide an explanation to the students who missed questions, I can put that in there. Now the one thing you do, you don't have to tab forward. You can scroll down. You know the answer to number 3 is C if you have your answer key. You just arrow over C and left click on it and the button happens. At the bottom of the page, you hit submit. And here is the quiz that we were just showing. And the quiz will appear to the students like this. Remember, the answer to question number 1 was D. When I click D, it goes automatically to number 2. You can see that the student's score total is 1 for 1. Now if we miss number 2, let's select answer A. The correct answer is highlighted and the next button will push us to number 3. Now let me show you what it looks like to create a quiz. This quiz title is Gettysburg. It's the same thing. We go to the questions. We hit 10, they appear. Now we don't need a URL because we're just going to type the questions in as we go. What this quiz saved for was quiz B. Let me show you what the finished product looks like. If the student is taking the quiz, this is how it appears to them taking the quiz. We know that the correct answer is Chancellorsville. We click that and it goes on. The second answer we know is B. But if we did get it incorrect, I have added an explanation of the correct answer. Let's go to the quiz. To edit the quiz, we just simply hit edit and select the quiz. And this is how it is. We type the quiz in, we type the answers in, and on this particular quiz, I typed in explanations so the students would know why they got the question wrong. It doesn't take me any more time to make this quiz than it would to put it on a Word document. And if I wanted it to appear this way, I could copy and paste my Word document here. However, if you're creating something new, this is a neat way to go, and the students absolutely benefit. The next sequence of events I'm going to show you is called the sequencing. Now right now, we are at the general test prep, so let's go up and look at the different classes that I have. I have a student that I want to evaluate on their ACT English. So I'm going to scroll down to my English class, and again, it's just my front page, but now I'm on my English class. I'm then going to roll over here to my materials. Do I have a specific idea in mind for this student, and I want to sequence the events. So the first thing I have in my materials, I have a video called the There video that I'm going to want to unhide because I am going to use that for this particular student. I also need the student to take a couple of homework assignment quizzes. The two that I am looking for the student, because I'm trying to evaluate where they're at, is this one right here, common grammatical errors, and I also want them to go and do the problems of logical expression. If this student will watch that video and do those two assignments, this is going to give me a great idea on exactly where they fit in for English at this point. So I have unhidden the assignments, and now I'm going to sequence create. I want to create a sequence for this student. So the first thing I want in this sequence is the quiz that I wanted to add English common grammatical errors, and I want to add that over there, and problems of logical expression. I'm going to add that over there. I also want to add the material, the There video, and add it. Now I don't want them to watch the There video last. I want to move that up. They're going to take the quiz here, the There video second, the English quiz third, and this is going to be my English evaluation tool. And that's what I'm going to title the sequence. So this saves the sequence, which I'm going to unhide. So this is the sequence I have. I would now like to assign this sequence to a particular student. We go click on Assign. We pick the sequence we want, and now a list of students come up. I want Cha Lai Wu to take this sequence, and the sequence is entitled English Eval. I want this to be started anytime, so I'm just going to press Now in the start time, and I'm going to save the assignment. Now, when we go to Wu's page, you can see that they have the sequence showing up, the 3 different materials which they can always come back to, and the assignment, which is the sequence. So let's go to the sequence. Wu will click on that, and the first thing they have to take is this common exercise. The next thing they would do in the sequence would be watch the video, and then lastly the third assignment would come up. All those would go directly to the gradebook, and as a teacher I could look and evaluate the progress of the student.
And what you've seen up to this point only scratches the surface of what this is going to be. Imagine being an art teacher, teaching from the Louvre, or a political science teacher, teaching from the Great Wall, a science teacher at Stonehenge, or a history teacher at the Roman Coliseum, or a media specialist teaching from a studio. With this, the possibilities are endless.